Hey guys, in this video I'm going to count down my list of the 10 best punk rock songs of 2020. Let's get into it. So this dumpster fire of a year is finally over, and I for one am so incredibly happy about that. But at least we had a bunch of good new music come out this year. Every year I make a list of my favorite albums of the year, but this year I wanted to do something a little different and narrow that down into my top songs of the year. This is purely my opinion and my objective list, so if there's something I'm missing or some of your guys' favorites, let me know down in the comments below. Let's get started with number 10. Coming in at number 10 is Bad Cop Bad Cop with the song Simple Girl. Bad Cop came back strong this year with their new album, The Ride. This was the first single from the album, and I just love the chord progressions in this one. X's original lineup came back with a surprise release this year after 35 years, which is insane. Imagine working on something so highly anticipated and it just being like, well, here it is on a random Wednesday in April. Anyway, this is the title track to that album, and it has everything I love about X. Dual vocals, rockabilly guitar solos, potent lyrics, the song rules. Red City Radio just put out their new album, also called Paradise, just a few weeks ago, but this is already one of my favorite songs of the year. They've added some pretty sweet sort of southern fried kind of guitar solos and leads on this album, if that's your thing. This song in particular has a good mix of the old melodic punk sound they used to do with the newer kind of bendy leads that they've started to do in recent years. The lyrics also tend to fit this bummer of a year pretty well. It's lonely, so damn lonely out here in paradise, indeed. It took me a long time to get into Pup, but after Morbid Thoughts last year, I was pretty much hooked. They put out a sweet little EP this year called This Place Sucks. Appropriate title. Rot is the first song off that EP, and it's classic Pup. Self-deprecating lyrics, catchy choruses, and unconventional rhythms. I've Never Done My Taxes, I Can't Even Cook an Egg is the first song off of Zero Wheels from Pears. I can relate to that. This is my favorite song off their new self-titled album they released this year. I feel like this song is the perfect mix of their pop punk / hardcore kind of fusion they do. It's catchy and it's quick and it's sweet. Coming in at number 5 is Hard Times by Get Dead. I just noticed my list is pretty Fat Wreck heavy, so I'd say it's a pretty good year for that label. I saw Get Dead in November 2019, remember shows, and I was a fan even before their fantastic new album Dancing with the Curse was released this year. Hard Times starts out with an interesting kind of disco-y drum beat and that sort of weird heavy alternative riff that I wasn't super into the first time I heard it, I have to admit. But once the chorus hits, I was pretty sold. This is a song with a lot of layers and it gets better after each and every listen. And even more lyrics that feel tailor-made for 2020. Another fat band at number 4 here. Last one, I promise. Days and Days are another band that I never really gave an honest chance until this year when they came out with Show Me the Blueprints on Fat Wreck. This one, on the other hand, really grabbed me on the first listen. Advice is relatable to anybody who's struggling with addiction or any sort of vices. Subtract good, add vice. Get it? This is a super catchy tune and the horn hook really ties it together for me. Sometimes I wanna take the car out on the road. Jeff Rosenstock blessed us with yet another awesome album this year, this time with No Dream, which was released back in May. This one was also a surprise release, which made it twice as sweet, at least for me. This song starts out with a heavy single note kind of lead, and then it goes into this chord progression and the words just float perfectly right on top of it. Lyrically, this track should just kind of relate to anybody who has trouble staying in the moment and struggles with themselves on a day-to-day basis. Add in some fantastic backing vocals from Chris Farron and Laura Stevenson, and we have a winner. Coming in at number 2, we have All My Friends by the OBGMs. This band was my prize musical discovery of 2020, by far. I read a Vice article about them earlier this year where they claimed, "We are Nirvana." and I was ready to hate them right then and there, honestly. That was until I gave their 2017 release a listen, and I was hooked immediately. This year they came out with The Ends, and it pretty much blows away everything they did on their first album. All My Friends is catchy enough to draw in casual listeners, but it's also interesting enough where you really get a good look into the world of the OBGMs. And my number one song of 2020 is Last Words by the Lawrence Arms. It's been 6 years since Metropole, which was the last Lawrence Arms album, and I've been twiddling my thumbs and waiting patiently for this new album ever since. Basically, Last Words is my favorite song off my favorite album of the year, so how could it not be number one? I love this song so much that I did a cover of it, which I'll link in the description below if you're interested in that. Chris McCaughan sings this one, and it's got the same bouncy beat they did in 100 Resolutions, but also with an EBow in the chorus, which is pretty strange for them, but it works to like perfection, in my opinion. The final line in this song is "Dressed to Kill for Oblivion," which, if that doesn't sum up this year, I don't know what does. Okay, those are my top 10 songs of 2020. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and let me know what I missed in the comments. I want to know what you guys are listening to. I want to hear your favorite songs, your favorite albums, your favorite bands of 2020. I hope some of you were introduced to some cool songs here, and I'll see you guys in the next video.